The diplomatic window for ending the war with Iran has effectively closed. The 60-day period set out under the US-Iran understanding reached in June has expired without a peace agreement. President Donald Trump now says there are no talks underway or scheduled with Tehran, despite members of his own team suggesting only days ago that diplomatic contacts remained active. And tensions are spreading across the region. The United Arab Emirates has suspended all trade and financial transactions with Iran after accusing Tehran of firing 2 ballistic missiles towards its territory. Iran denies responsibility. The move is significant, however. The UAE has long been one of Iran's most important commercial partners and a crucial trading hub. There are also reports that Iran has considered strikes against US military assets in Europe if Washington escalates the conflict, potentially extending the confrontation well beyond the Middle East. But for the global economy, the immediate concern remains the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway remains severely disrupted. Tanker traffic has fallen sharply, and there is still no agreement over its future. Oil prices have responded, with Brent crude trading around $92 a barrel. So, with diplomacy stalled, regional tensions rising, and one of the world's most important energy corridors still at the center of the confrontation, where does this conflict go next? I've been speaking with energy analyst Dr. Cyril Widershoven.
Where is this going? Well, at this moment, it's more or less it's a stalemate. So neither Iran or the US are able to force the other one to act and do something. The main issue, I think, is that the US, in its preliminary assessment, has been a little bit too optimistic, thinking that putting extreme force on Iran will A, end the regime, and B, will change the regime. Well, both did not happen, and of course the real elephant in the room, or the so-called black swan, which wasn't a black swan, the Strait of Hormuz. Everybody knew that the option would be there that Iran would act like it did. How the war is being played out, how the war is being done, how at the same time Washington, aka Trump, JD Vance, and all the others are not keeping one consistent strategy in place. They threaten, they don't do. Trump's very famous taco issue. I threaten, and if 5 minutes before I need to do what I said, I say I am not going to do it. So the US strategy towards Iran is for everybody like, okay, we can analyze what we know, but it can change when we analyze by one tweet. What he is currently doing is not anymore putting his own strategy. He is reacting to the situation that he has created. He thought Iran would collapse, that the people without weapons would go on the street. He told the Kurds, go and fight without arms. While he did not realize that the ultimate weapon that Iran has, the Strait of Hormuz, block it. And you do not need to have an Iranian navy. That is, if you have drones of $45 aboard in Choice R Us or wherever, you can block the maritime traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. And that is the ultimate weapon At this moment, realistically, I do not see any diplomatic option to find a solution within the next 1 to 3 months at all. Whichever diplomatic result we are going to see is done by the diplomats in Iran. They're not holding the power. The extremists do not want to make the deal that, let's say, the West plus Israel plus mostly also the Arab states want. They do not want to have a nuclear armed, aggressive, regional destabilizing Iran.